All right, so today we're diving into something kind of wild. The kind of stuff that makes you go, wait, what?
Sounds right up our alley.
You got it. So get this, our source for this deep dive. It's not the usual headlines. It's actually this Spanish language podcast. Podcast de Denny, they call it.
Podcast Dead Danny, huh? Shows you how interconnected things are these days. News travels in unexpected ways.
No kidding, right. So buckle up, because here's the gist. Former President Trump, he's making some serious claims about Iran, saying they cooked up plans to, get this, assassinate him.
Now, that's a headline grabber for sure. And I'm guessing it's no coincidence this is all coming out as we head towards another election.
Bingo. Trump's campaign, they're all over this. They're saying, and I quote, U.S. intelligence warned him about these real and specific threats.
See, even that language, real and specific, it's like they're trying to sound all official in cloak and dagger. But let's be real. In the world of intelligence, those words, they can be pretty slippery. It's one of those things you can raise the alarm bells without actually, giving away the whole playbook.
So it's like a smoke signal, could mean anything. But why now, right? Why drop this bombshell right as the election's heating up?
Well, think about it. Tying foreign threats to a domestic election. It's practically a page straight out of the playbook. It creates this instant sense of urgency, maybe even fear. And guess what? Fear can make people vote a certain way. And by linking these alleged Iranian plots back to Soleimani, that whole tense U.S.-Iran situation, they're tapping into some pre-existing anxieties there.
Definitely a power move, especially coming from, well, let's be honest, a source that isn't exactly CNN. So what's the deal with Podcast D, Danny? What do we know about these guys?
From what I've gathered, it seems like your typical news and commentary kind of show. Shooting the breeze, sharing some headlines. But here's the thing. Every outlet, every single one, has a slant, a way they like to frame things. So the question we got to ask is, what's their angle in all this?
Which kind of brings us to this whole other can of worms. Information warfare. You've talked about this before, but it's like we're seeing it play out in real time here.
Exactly. And in this day and age with the internet and all that, information warfare is all about using, information as a weapon. Spreading those juicy rumors, making sure certain narratives get all the attention, sometimes even using sources that seem legit, but are actually pushing someone's agenda. This whole Trump-Iran thing, whether it's true or not, it makes you think, how easy is it to manipulate what people believe, especially with something as big as international relations?
And with an election just around the corner, talk about high stakes. So let's say, just for argument's sake, that these assassination claims are legit. What could that mean for, the whole world stage?
Oh man, if these claims turned out to be true, things could get dicey fast. We're talking potential for a major escalation between the U.S. and Iran, and it wouldn't stop there. The Middle East is a powder keg.
Yeah.
One spark could set off a whole chain reaction. Instability, conflict, who knows? The point is, this kind of stuff has serious consequences. You can't just throw it around lightly.
No kidding. It really makes you realize, one podcast in a whole other language, and suddenly we're talking about potential international incidents. It's wild.
It is, and it just goes to show, more than ever, we got to be careful about what we believe, where we get our information from,
Yes.
especially when someone's trying to sell you something, whether it's a used car or, a whole narrative.
Couldn't agree more. So to everyone listening, think about this. How can you be a smarter news consumer? How do you cut through the noise, figure out what's real, and make sure you're not just someone else's pawn in their little game? Especially now, with tensions running high, thinking for yourself, it's more important than ever.